After Sami locked himself inside the heart of darkness to shield the worlds from the eternal shadow, everyone thought his story had ended, and his sacrifices would forever be part of the legend of heroes. But what no one knew was that the darkness in which Sami was trapped was not still. Within the heart of darkness, Sami stood in a vast space with no beginning or end. Everything was pitch black, no ground, no sky, just an endless void filled with whispers and mysterious voices. "Sami," came a faint voice, as if emerging from the depths of his mind. Sami turned swiftly, but saw nothing. "Who's there? Show yourself," he shouted, filled with anger. "I am part of you now, Sami. The eternal shadow is not merely your enemy, it is part of your soul." These words were enough to plant doubt in Sami's heart. As Sami tried to comprehend what was happening, a small dark portal appeared before him, emitting a faint light. This portal was the only link between the heart of darkness and the other worlds. "This portal opens only once, Sami. You have two choices. Return to your world, but bring a part of the eternal shadow with you, or stay here forever and fight the darkness alone." Sami hesitated, but he realized that his presence in the heart of darkness might not be the ultimate solution. If the eternal shadow could speak to him, it meant its power wasn't fully confined. "I cannot forsake the worlds. I will return, but I will bear this darkness as a burden upon myself alone." Sami opened the portal and passed back into his world. Upon arrival, he found himself in familiar surroundings, but they seemed different. The sky was filled with gray clouds, as if the world could feel the shadow within him. "You've returned," cried the bird as it flew swiftly towards Sami. "Sami, we thought you would never come back," said the crystal tiger, but it noticed a different look in Sami's eyes. "There are matters I couldn't finish in the heart of darkness. The eternal shadow still exists, and we must prepare to face it again." As they were talking, a strong storm of dark energy suddenly appeared in the sky, and from it emerged a mysterious entity akin to the eternal shadow, but smaller and more fierce. The bird said fearfully, "What is that? Is it a part of the eternal shadow?" Sami replied as he readied for battle, "It's one of his minions. The eternal shadow has begun sending its forces to reclaim control." A fierce battle began between Sami and his friends against the dark entity. It was incredibly powerful, but Sami noticed that he had become able to control a part of the dark energy within him. "If I am part of the shadow now, I will use this power for the worlds," shouted Sami, releasing a wave of dark and luminous energy together, destroying the creature. After the battle, Sami realized that the eternal shadow would not stop. It had begun to free its minions one by one to weaken the worlds. The old guardian, who appeared suddenly, said, "Sami, your return was expected, but the eternal shadow will not leave you alone. You face a hard choice. Seek the stones of eternal balance, which can end the eternal shadow forever, or face its minions until your strength collapses." Sami asked, "Where can I find these stones?" "Each stone is hidden in a dangerous world, each protected by a guardian stronger than the last. This journey will not be easy, Sami. Are you ready?" Sami replied firmly, "I have sacrificed my soul before, and I will not hesitate to sacrifice again. Lead me to the first place." The first stop for Sami and his friends was the Valley of Storms, a place filled with fierce winds and relentless thunder. In this valley, the first stone was located, but it was guarded by the Storm King. Upon arrival in the valley, they found it difficult to advance due to the fierce winds pushing them back with every step. "Sami, this place is designed to deter us from reaching the stone. We must find a way to protect ourselves," said the bird. Sami used the balance energy within him to create a shield of energy around them, helping them advance. But when they reached the heart of the valley, the Storm King appeared. He was a giant creature of wind and lightning, and his voice was heard like a storm roaring. "Who dares enter my kingdom?" This stone is not for humans, and the storm shall not allow it to be touched." A fierce battle ensued. The Storm King used wind and lightning to attack, making it difficult to approach him. The tiger said, "Sami, his power is unbeatable. How will we overcome him?" Sami thought quickly, then said, "We must use our wits. If the stone empowers him, we must separate him from it." While the tiger and bird distracted the Storm King, Sami sneaked towards the stone. As he touched it, he felt a powerful energy sweeping through his body, and the winds gradually calmed. The Storm King shouted, "You cannot take it. It is part of my world." But Sami gathered his strength and released balanced energy to calm the storms. The Storm King gradually disappeared, and the valley became completely calm. Sami held the first stone and felt a new force flowing within him. This stone was the first key to weakening the eternal shadow. The bird said, "One down, but more await." "Are you ready, Sami?" Sami replied with a calm smile. "The road is long, but I will not give up. We will defeat the eternal shadow, no matter the cost." In the horizon, challenges accumulated, but Sami was not alone. The energy of darkness and light within him would become stronger with each step, but he would need more courage than he had shown so far. Stay tuned for the next part, where Sami begins his adventure in search of the second stone.